Stephen Hawking peered deep into black holes and helped integrate the biggest ideas in physics. Stephen Hawking is one of those rare luminaries whose life symbolizes the best humanity has to offer. Today, with us, brief answers to the big questions by Stephen Hawking. There's a hint in brief answers that he knew this. I fit the stereotype, disabled genius, he writes. Enjoy it, learn from it, and please stay with us. And subscribe. This was Stephen Hawking. He died in March in 2018 at age 76, having survived 55 years with motor neuron disease after initially at 21st, being told he had only 2 years to live. Survived is not an adequate word. He rode his wheelchair in the mainstream of the contemporary world, inspiring millions with his stubborn courage. He published opinions that influenced and sometimes angered people around the globe. He repeatedly warned of disaster for the human race unless we control artificial intelligence and colonize space. In his last year, Hawking was also re-exploring his personal archives, his lecture, memoirs, academic and non-academic writing. He was choosing what to revise and incorporate in a book called Brief Answers to the Big Questions. The book includes 10 questions, starting with Is there a God? And ending with the very inspirational How do we shape the future? If there is an unfailing them across the book, it is Hawking's deep faith in science's ability to solve humanity's biggest problems, be they in theoretical physics or the future of our species on Earth. His answers to the big questions illustrate his belief in the rationality of nature and on our ability to uncover all its secrets. His optimism permeates every page. So, what of the book itself? It's divided into 10 chapters, each posing different questions. 3 are open-ended. What is inside a black hole? How did it all begin? And how do we shape the future? The other 7 are all yes-no questions, such as Is there a God? Is time travel possible? And will we survive on Earth? All of which seduce the reader into thinking there will be easy answers. Accept, as you might accept, is not that straightforward. Hawking was more than an outside-of-the-box thinker. He was a box redefiner, intellectually and academically a more difficult definition. He stepped outside of the box only out of necessity, having exhausted all else that was ever known, ventured to where no one had ever gone before, and then connected everything back to reality by predictions, mathematical consistency, and experimental verification. This is science in practice. Take the chapter on Can we predict the future? Starting with regular astronomical events, it swiftly moves on to scientific determinism, quantum physics, hidden variables, and Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Under the guise of a simple question, Hawking has managed to take the reader on a whistle-stop tour of the quantum world. Bottom line, no, we can't predict everything. It's a clever ruse. Ask a simple question and you'll draw in writers who might otherwise not know and be interested in complex science. To his mind, there has to be some underlying rational order to nature, one that is based on ultimate simplicity and symmetry, still given the experimental challenges to probe physics and the ultra-high energies where this unified behavior might materialize. He concedes that to a large extent we shall have to rely on mathematical beauty and consistency to find the ultimate theory of everything. Hawking argues that we are setting ourselves up for catastrophic failure. The rapid increase of the global population with the consequent need for ever more energy and food our unstoppable encroachment into natural habitats, the huge amounts of air pollution due to the burning of fossil fuels, growing income disparity, cultural entrenchment, all of this combine into an explosive formula for disaster. Add to that the potential threat from nuclear weapons and the rapid rise of robotic and machine intelligence, and the future couldn't look any gloomier. Only science, Hawking argues, can save us from our mistakes. We can develop technologies to sequester carbon more efficiently and to lower the cost of renewable energy. We can use genetic engineering to create foods that are cheap and highly nutritious, and to fight disease like never before. We can even, if not for decades or even centuries, start humanity's colonization of outer space using a lunar base as a stepping stone, then going to Mars and eventually to planets outside our solar system. The challenges we face are technical and not fundamental, hence potentially solvable given enough time and resources. We will transcend the Earth and learn to exist in space, he writes. Hawking believes that humanity's evolutionary mission is to spread through the galaxy as a sort of cosmic gardener, sowing life along the way. He believes, even if not without worry, that we will develop a positive relationship with intelligent machines and that together we will redesign the current fate of the world and of our species. For all of this to happen, we need to wake up. We must rethink our relationship with the planet and how we use its resources. We must rethink our relationship with one another and with other living creatures. We must disarm nuclear weapons. But who first? We must end hunger and share our wealth more justly. We must revamp science education worldwide to inspire the young to pursue careers in research so the solutions to our challenges will be found. Some may criticize Hawking's optimism and trust in humanity's wisdom and scientific prowess as naive or too simplistic. To that he would probably ask in his computerized voice and with a twinkle in his eyes.
And what would you suggest instead?
His final words in the book are beautiful, inspiring. So, remember to look up at the stars and not at your feet. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious, and however difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. Unleash your imagination. Shape the future. Thank you so much. Take care and remember, if we want to survive, unleash our imagination. Take care.